So what I'm going to do now is I've got my hot air gun and my scraper, and you can see I've done a bit of preparation here before. This has just been taken off with the hot air stripper. So what we need to do is to heat up the paint until it starts to bubble, and then if you push the scraper gently along you create this concertina effect, and just once the paint starts to bubble, it's just about ready then for you to just push your scraper gently along and keep the hot air gun ahead of the line that you're doing, and just keep pushing and keep the hot air going at the same time, and then hopefully you'll find you'll end up with a sort of quicker, it'll remove the paint more quickly than doing it bitty. But the main thing is you need to wear your gloves. I haven't got any gloves because my hands are fairly hardened to this and I'm reasonably confident in what I'm doing, but it's best to wear gloves and a mask because of the old lead paint is not going to be good for your lungs, and it can create an adverse reaction. So we'll start with this and you can see what I mean. I'll come a bit closer to the camera, and I brought hopefully the camera a bit closer to the working area so you can see better what I'm hopefully doing. So we're going to use the hot air gun. We're holding it fairly close, about 25mm away from the paint. We've got our scraper and we should have our gloves on to protect our hands and our mask. And then we're just going to heat that. You can see it bubbling now, and once it starts to bubble it's ready to go, and just push the scraper and paint off with the scraper and just keep that slow momentum, and then you'll be able to keep going. A bit of smoke isn't too much of a problem as long as it doesn't catch fire. Best to do this outdoors, and just keep pushing. And there we are. That's much simpler to do a bigger area like that. But the main thing is to maintain the momentum of the scraper with the hot air gun just running just slightly ahead of it, and once it bubbles you can just keep gently pushing. But the main thing is not to set fire to the paint, because it'll obviously potentially cause a fire, but also it will perhaps burn the wood that you're trying to work on, because I want to bring this back to the natural cedar wood that's underneath, and so to burn it would be a bit of a disaster. So once we've now taken all that off, then we will run over it carefully with the belt sander to get rid of this blackness of paint and stain, to get back to the original cedar wood.